and I'm exhausted. I've just said goodbye to the 3rd school party today.
Oh, yes?
Of course, none of the children showed the slightest interest in my guided tour, but at least I saw to it that they behaved themselves and they didn't touch any of the exhibits.
Is that right, Evelyn?
Mm-hmm.
3rd Viscount looks a bit peaky, doesn't he?
What? The little monsters!
And this one, Brigadier Transome, is from an advertising agency.
What do the blighters want?
Well, they want to rent Beaumont House for a rather large amount of money to make a commercial for a new men's deodorant.
When I was young, Vanessa, men smelt like men.
Yes, some of them still do.
Exactly. No, when I was young, men didn't have deodorants. They had national service, much better for them. I'd never been near a deodorant in my life.
I'd never have guessed. So where do I file the letter? In this one?
Good heavens, no, girl. YOC stands for yes, of course.
Yes, of course.
That goes with the other unsuitable suggestions in Finax.
Oh, and remind me, Finax stands for...
Forget it, not a chance, sunshine. You've got to have a system to run a place like Beaumont House. Everything has to run on straight lines, you know.
Yes, Brigadier Transome.
Oh, good afternoon, Evelyn.
Brigadier?
Got rid of all your little oiks, have you?
Yes, 3 school parties today.
Oh, good heavens. That means we've got to go...
No, it's all right. I've already checked the panelling for chewing gum.
You think of everything,
Well,
Evelyn.
try.
There wasn't anything stuck on any of the portraits this time, was there?
No. Needless to say, none of the children showed any knowledge of history. I asked one of them who fought against the Cavaliers in the Civil War. He said the skinheads.
Typical. That's what you get for banning corporal punishment in schools. Well, you must be pretty whacked, Evelyn. Why don't you put your feet up for a little while?
Thank you so much.
Oh, and Vanessa, how about some char, eh? Come on, chop.
Yes, of course.
I like me tea like I like me women. Very hot, very sweet, and very strong.
Oh, Brigadier.
And very dark.
I'm afraid today's number of visitors was down on last year's again.
We're not going to worry about that, though, are we?
Well, the trustees did say if the profits weren't up, they really would sell Beaumont House.
Sabre rattling, that's all they're doing. They really can't have any complaints about how the place is run.
Well,
A damn tight ship we've got here. Me on administration, Nanny taking the money at the door, and you running the guided tours magnificently.
Oh, thank you so much.
Everything along straight lines and absolutely tickety-boo. Damn good system. It's worked well for the last 8 years, and I don't see why it shouldn't continue for another 80.
Oh, Brigadier. Beaumont House is so lucky to have you.
I know.
Terrific place to snoop from up here, isn't it, Nanny Princeton?
Well, I suppose it might be. For the kind of person who'd stoop to that sort of behaviour. I had a letter from Master Gerald today, Crumpton. He'll be coming back to Beaumont House soon.
Really?
He's been abroad quite long enough. People who go abroad can so easily slip into bad habits.
Well, why is that, then?
Well, obviously, Crumpton, because they spend all their time mixing with foreigners.
Oh.
There should be a Hope Beaumont living in Beaumont House. Master Gerald is the 16th Viscount, and this is where he should be.
Do I agree? It's still quite slippery on the drive down there, where those floods was.
Were, Crumpton, were.
Down there, where I said. Brigadier driving off now.
Down for his 6 o'clock drink at the pub, regular as clockwork. I do like a man who does everything on straight lines.
Yeah, and I'm always amazed how close he drives to that tree down there, just on the curve by the... Oh dear. Closer than usual tonight.
Oh dear.
I think the Brigadier may have done one too many things on straight lines, Nanny Princeton.
Now, of course, we're all very sorry about the Brigadier's death.
He was so efficient and such an eye for detail. The Brigadier never missed a thing.
Least of all, that tree.
Anyway, what I'd like to say to you is that I do hope you'll cooperate with the new administrator. Now, her name's Gloria Hepburn, and she arrives today.
Will do.
Of course, Gerald. As long as the new administrator continues to run things as Brigadier Transome did.
On straight lines, you mean?
Yes. I'm sure we'll have no problems.
Well, I think that one of the reasons the trustees have appointed somebody with a totally different background, and someone from America at that, is because they do want the changes made.
Now, I've nothing against change, Gerald, just as long as everything stays the same.
Yes, Evelyn. I would just like to say how very much I appreciate the way you've held the fort since Brigadier Transome
went off the straight and narrow.
Have you met Miss Hepburn yet, Gerald?
No, I was still abroad when the trustees made the appointment. All I know is that she's from America and she has a very good track record in leisure management.
Leisure management? Beaumont House isn't leisure, it's history.
Now, look, let's not jump to any conclusions. We'll all wait until we meet Miss Hepburn. Now, I'm going to have a word with Nanny Princeton and Crompton.
Yes, Gerald.
Has the Rolls been sent to meet Miss Hepburn at the airport?
No, we offered, but message was she'd make her own way here.
Oh, fine. All right, well, I'll see you all later.
I think that's quite encouraging, don't you, Crompton?
What's that then, Evelyn?
Well, the fact that Miss Hepburn refused the offer of the Rolls suggests she's not one of those ostentatious Americans. No, I'm sure everything will be fine, just as long as she doesn't want to make changes.
Well, we're gonna have to change that old thing for a start.
American, you say?
Yes, Nanny Princeton.
I wish I could say I approve of everything that comes out of America.
Oh, come on, Nanny.
I wish I could say I approve of anything that comes out of America.
Now, I just hope that you'll make things easy for Miss Hepburn when she takes over.
I won't cause Miss Hepburn any problems at all.
Do you promise?
Not so long as she doesn't try to change things here at Beaumont House.
And there's another thing that we're gonna have to change, aren't we?
All Americans are terrible show-offs, you know.
Nanny Princeton, you have no basis at all for saying that. You have never been there.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Well,
You don't have to be a tomcat to spot a tittle-mouse.
what?
Hey, how come there's no welcoming committee? Round you go again, buddy. You think I'm going to arrive in a limo and not make an entrance? No way, Jose. Let's try something else.
Of course, when your parents were young, people knew their place. You were either born a member of the ruling classes or you weren't. None of these dreadful ideas about everyone being equal. No, things were much better when the upper classes ran everything.
Oh.
They knew their duty. Keep things going, keep the bloodlines pure. You want to get married again, Master Gerald? You need sons. Beaumont House needs sons. Can't let the line run out.
Oh, now, Nanny Princeton, the fact is that since Venetia died, I simply haven't met anyone else I would want to marry.
That's not the point. It's not what you want, it's what Beaumont House wants. I don't know, Master Gerald, you've always had this selfish streak.
Now listen, we open to the public for the first time this season on Sunday, and we need those watercolours cleaned and back here by then. Look, I am the chief guide. I refuse to give a commentary to the public on a set of picture hooks.
Darn sight more interesting than what you usually say.
What was that, Crompton?
Nothing, Evelyn.
Good morning, Beaumont House.
Oh, good morning. I'm speaking on behalf of Miss Gloria Hepburn.
Just to say that she'll be arriving at Beaumont House in about 5 minutes. That okay?
Yes. Now we're cooking.
And in those days, being British meant something. People respected you. You didn't have to tell people from other countries that you were better. They just knew it instinctively. Whereas nowadays you get all kinds of foreigners behaving as if they own the world.
Yes, well, they do own most of it.
Nonsense. They simply haven't got their... Nanny Princeton. Oh, hello, Vanessa. What? Yes, he's here. For you, Master Gerald.
Thank you. Hello. Oh, now Miss Hepburn's arrived. All right, I'll be right down. There we are. Thank you, Nanny. Bye-bye.
Now that's better. That I like. Well, hi, everybody.
Good morning. You must be Gloria Hepburn. Welcome to Beaumont House.
Thank you, my lord.
No, please don't stand on ceremony.
But you are Gerald Hope Beaumont, 15th Viscount de Blee.
Well, yes, I am sort of technically, but actually everyone here just calls me Gerald.
Well, glad to meet you, Gerald.
And you, Gloria?
Now, I must say, is this a house or is this a house?
Actually, it is a house. This is what we call the Long Gallery.
Yeah, well, that's a very good name for it. Oh, but this is so beautiful.
Yes, we like to think so. Tell me something. About your limousine.
Yes?
Do you always travel like that?
Sure, don't you?
Good heavens, no.
Nor do I. That was just a courtesy car I got from the airport, included in the cost of the ticket.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but given I'd got the limo, there was no way I wasn't going to make an entrance, was there?
No.
Wouldn't you have done the same?
Probably not, actually.
Why not?
Well, one doesn't sort of like to draw attention to oneself, does one?
What? Oh, sorry, yes, I've heard about that. English reticence, British reserve, isn't that right, old chap?
Yes, well.
Well, no way that kind of stuff works for me, man. I'm in a limo, the world's gonna know I'm in a limo.
So that's why you went round the second time, is it?
You saw that, huh? Well, that's why. I mean, my motto is, if you've got it, flaunt it.
And is that going to be your approach to marketing Beaumont House?
Right, well, have you ever thought what Disney could do with a place like this? You've got to recognize when I'm joking, Gerald.
Oh, I see. And you were joking then, were you?
Of course I was joking then.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Who's this guy? He looks like he's just swallowed a lemon.
No, that's an ancestor, the 6th Viscount. Actually, this portrait is attributed to Ramsay.
No kidding.
I'm terribly sorry. There is no reason at all why you should have heard of Ramsay.
No, not unless you mean Alan Ramsay, the Scottish portraitist who became painter in ordinary to George III in 1767 and is seen by some as a stylistic link between Hogarth and Gainsborough.
Yes, I did mean him, actually. At least I think I did.
I did a postgraduate course in British portraiture at the University of Pennsylvania.
Oh, I see.
And who is this one?
Now that was my wife, Venetia. She died in a hunting accident. Still, looks as though we might have some rain later.
Gerald, may I ask you a personal question? When you talk about the weather, is it because you're embarrassed in some way?
No.
Then why is it?
I think it's because I'm British.
But isn't that the same thing?
Can you imagine how Brigadier Transome would have reacted to the sight of someone like Gloria Hepburn?
I think he'd have been delighted. Brigadier always liked to see a pretty woman.
Crumpton, I'll have you know, I worked with the Brigadier for over 8 years, and he never behaved at all in that way to me.
Rather goes to prove my point, I'd say.
You must see how unsuitable she is for this kind of setting. I mean, come on, Crumpton, don't beat about the bush. Tell me honestly what you think about her.
I think she's wonderful.
Oh, really? Might have known I wouldn't get any sense out of you. Vanessa, let's hear your opinion. Can you honestly see Gloria Hepburn running this place like Brigadier Transome did?
No, I can't.
See?
Thank goodness.
Anyway, where is she now? Lying down after her exhausting journey.
I think Gerald said he was going to introduce her to Nanny Princeton.
Oh, good.
Why good?
Well, if that doesn't do the trick, nothing will.
So, you come from the United States of America.
Yep, sure do.
Chewing gum comes from the United States of America.
It certainly does.
Very bad for children's teeth, chewing gum. It slackens the jaws. Slack jaws make for slack vowels. Slack vowels are the reason Americans speak so badly.
Whoa! Now, we may speak differently than you, but we don't speak either better or worse than you do, Mrs. Princeton.
It's Miss Princeton, Miss Hepburn. But everyone calls me Nanny Princeton.
Oh. Do they, Miss Princeton?
So from what part of the United States of America do you come?
I'm from Philadelphia.
Oh.
Are you familiar with Philadelphia?
I'm familiar with the cheese. And I don't approve of that either. Soft cheese makes for soft children.
Ah, right.
Right, here we are. Yeah. Ah, Nanny Princeton's quite a character, isn't she, Gloria?
You ain't just whistling Dixie.
Of course, you know, in America, Princeton's the name of a university, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Whereas here, it's the name of a prison.
That figures.
This tea's too weak to crawl up the spout.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll have to leave it to draw for a minute. Have some bread and butter, Miss Hepburn.
Thank you.
Gerald?
Thank you, Nanny.
You eat it like that, do you? Just plain on its own?
Yes, of course.
Weird.
At tea, you should always have one slice of plain bread and butter before you have anything sweet.
Well, I'd like some jelly on mine, please.
Jelly? Jelly is what good boys and girls get at parties. This isn't a party, so there's no jelly.
I think Gloria meant jam, Nanny. You see, in America, what we call jam, they call jelly.
Well, it's not my fault if Americans can't get their words right, is it?
Look, I'm not bothered what you guys want to call it. This is what I want. Thank you.
But you just took that. You took the jam.
Yes.
You didn't wait for it to be passed to you.
No.
Good heavens.
Now, ladies, please. Now, look, I do want you two to get on. Gloria is going to be working here whether you like it or not, Nanny. And you know, I'm sure as you get to know each other a little better, you get to know each other's little ways, I'm sure you'll come to realize just exactly how much you have in common.
Yes, I think we probably will.
Yes, you see, and then you'll be getting on like a house on fire.
Huh? And who's going to bring the matches?
Now, Gloria, look, I know she can be infuriating, but really, you must try and make allowances for Nanny Princeton.
Why?
Why? Well, because she is an old lady and she's been very good to me.
Really?
Look, Gloria, my parents were away a great deal when I was a child, and Nanny Princeton was sort of my security, I suppose.
Next time, get a blanket.
Now, Gloria...
Gerald, I was just off for the day.
Fine. See you in the morning, Evelyn.
Yes, Evelyn. Maybe you could take me through everything then.
Yes, of course. The Brigadier's system was idiosyncratic, but not very complicated. I'm sure you'll soon be able to pick it up, even with the language difficulty.
This is a lot better than I feared.
What?
Well, the trustees said that the corporate entertaining side was hardly developed at all. But you seem to have plenty of requests here for corporate use.
Yes, those are...
Couldn't Brigadier Transome spell finance?
No, that's an acronym.
Ah, that means it's made up of the initial letters of the...
I know what an acronym is, thank you. FINACS.
Yes, it stands for...
I've got it. For immediate negotiation and contractual settlement. Easy, really.
What?
There we are, Evelyn. There, we'll sort everything out tomorrow. Now, bye-bye, Evelyn. Bye-bye.
See you in the morning, Evelyn.
Bye-bye.
Gerald. Oh.
You know what?
What?
Somehow, I don't think I can yet count on Evelyn's unquestioning support around here.
No, probably not. Not yet, anyway. But she'll come round. You can count on mine, anyway.
Oh, thank you.
Or rather, you can count on mine on one condition.
Aha. And what might that be?
I will give you my wholehearted support, Gloria, so long as the ideas you suggest respect the history of Beaumont House.
But of course, I wouldn't
But if you start to do things I don't think are right for the estate, then I'm afraid you will have a fight on your hands.
Look, I am not here for a fight,
Oh, no,
Gerald.
no, nor am I. No. But I'd just like you to realize that we Hope Beaumonts do know a thing or two about fighting, you know. Hopes and Beaumonts have fought against the Saracens, against the French, against the Spanish, against the parliamentarians.
Was there anybody your family did get along with?
Good heavens, yes, yes. The Hope Beaumonts have always got on perfectly well with people who see things just the way we do.
Now, that's funny, because we Hepburns have always been the same.
Ah, well, given we have so much in common, we should get along just fine, shouldn't we?
Yes. Yes, Gerald, we should get along just fine.
All right, come on, you're tired out. We'll call it a day and meet tomorrow at 10.
Okay. Breakfast?
Breakfast?
Yeah, don't you do breakfast?
Yes, a couple of slices of toast, some marmalade, orange juice, maybe
No.
tea.
I mean, don't you do breakfast meetings in this country?
Good Lord, no. What an idea. No, we'll meet tomorrow at 10.
10? What are you going to do till then?
Well, get up, that sort of thing, really.
Okay, 10 it is. By then, I'll have had time to go through this lot.
Yes, well, I don't think you'll find Evelyn's in much before 10.
Good. So, we meet here at 10, right?
Good. Fine. Terrific. Gloria.
Yo.
I would like to say one thing.
Yes?
About your getting the job. Now, I was worried about the prospect of somebody new coming here, and, you know, I have a feeling if we sort of, you know, working together in a sort of a mutual, you know, I mean, if we all sort of pull together, I have a feeling that we could, as it were, there, if you see what I mean.
Not really, no.
Ah, well, what I'm trying to say is, about your getting the job, I'm absolutely chuffed to bits.
Oh, right. Chuffed. Is that a good thing?
Yes, that's very good.
Good. Good night, Gerald.
Good night, Gloria.
You're in the land of hope and gloria, a land of do or die. You're in the land of hope and gloria, where aspirations run high.
We go back to William the Conqueror.
We go forward into space.
We've got lords, ladies, kings and queens.
Pomp and circumstance, pipe dreams.
Background culture, pure tradition.
We rely on capitalism.
You destroyed our language without restraint.
You're only upset because we is what you ain't.
Land of hope and gloria, there's hope, there's you and I.
So, as this is the first Sunday that Beaumont House is open to the public this season, what I'd really like to say to you on behalf of the trustees is good luck.
Thank you very much, Gerald. I'm sure you can rely on us to make this season just as successful as last year's.
Yes, Evelyn. Actually, you know, we'd really rather like to make this season a little more successful than last year's.
Why?
Of course, last year we didn't even make enough to keep you in corn plasters.
Exactly, Crompton. Thank you. So you'll keep a check on numbers as you tear the tickets, Vanessa, hmm?
Yes, Gerald.
Good.
You know we'll all do our best to make the season successful, Master Gerald, but we can't be responsible for the weather. Men have done what men have done, but only God can bring the sun.
Thank you, Nanny. Now, the point I'm making is what will make this a good or a bad season will not be the weather. Partly it will be the new publicity that Gloria's organising.
Oh, haven't seen much evidence of that yet.
Oh, but Gloria's been working very hard.
Vanessa?
Now, Evelyn, these things take time. Gloria's only been here a week.
Seems much longer to me, the way she's been sticking her oar into everything.
That's the administrator's job.
Well, so far as I can see, the only thing Miss Hepburn has done during the last week is to bring in that dreadful fix machine.
Fax machine, Nanny.
Fax, doesn't matter what you call it, it's still not natural. If God had intended us to send letters by telephone, he wouldn't have invented letterboxes.
Honestly, Americans are so simplistic. They think all that's important about running a business is working long hours and being up to date with all the latest management techniques and technology.
Yes, and what do you think's more important then, Evelyn?
Good old British instinct.
I see. But it was good old British instinct that brought us last year's deficit, so I think we can justifiably give the American method a try, don't you?
Oh, hi, everybody.
Morning, Gloria.
There it is. I left my purse.
That is not a purse, Miss Hepburn. That is a handbag.
It just so happens that in the States, Miss Princeton, we call a handbag a purse.
And it just so happens, Miss Hepburn, that everyone calls me Nanny Princeton. So if the purse is a handbag, what in the States do you keep your money in?
A change purse.
Good heavens. I sometimes wonder why Columbus bothered.
Gloria, I was surprised not to find you here when I arrived this morning. I thought you were always behind your desk by 8.
Well, I am, but this is Sunday.
Yes, and coincidentally, the first day this season, the Beaumont House is open to the public.
So? I'm sure you can manage. I'm sure you wouldn't want me, how do you Brits put it, sticking my oar in? Anyway, look, I hope you get lots of, what do you call the people who come through here, tourists?
Visitors.
Ah.
Grockles.
Grockles? Is that what you call them? Grockles?
No.
Yes, we do. Grockles? Grockles. That's neat. Well, I gotta go.
So, what are you going to be doing today, then, Gloria?
I think I'm gonna have a nice, restful day in the country. All work and no play makes Gloria a dull girl. So, bye, everyone, and, have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Well, this is only our busiest day of the year.
Yes.
I know her type. Quite happy to let everyone else do the hard work and just come in later and take all the glory.
Typically American. Exactly what they did in the Second World War.
What are we going to do about you?
Now, what I really want you to concentrate on today is trying to make Beaumont House become more user-friendly.
User-friendly? You get too user-friendly with that lot, Master Gerald, and they'll start walking round Beaumont House as if it was their own.
Yes, that's exactly how I want them to walk around Beaumont House.
But, Master Gerald, this is your home.
No, it isn't. Beaumont House belongs to a charitable trust.
Don't quibble. This house has been in the Hope Beaumont family for centuries. A mere technicality of ownership doesn't change that.
Thank you, Nanny, but what I'm trying to say is I want you to remember that the people who come to visit us here at Beaumont House are human beings.
Barely, in some cases.
And I want you to make them feel wanted.
Wanted? That lot.
Wanted? What, even if it's a school party of smelly little oiks?
Yes, Evelyn, particularly if it's a school party of smelly little oiks.
Good gracious. Well, unlike dear Gloria, some of us have got work to do. I must go and check that my guides are word perfect on their patter. I don't want anybody else saying the first Viscount's portrait is by Dick Van Dyke.
I must go and see that I've got everything ready.
What's that for, tearing tickets?
Yes. Well, I always like to have a little practice.
And I must go and practice being user-friendly to the people to whom I sell the tickets, mustn't I?
Yes, Nanny, if you could.
Oh, and I must find my cotton gloves.
What for?
Well, you don't think I'm going to take their money with my bare hands, do you? You never know where it...
Disappointed in her a bit, aren't you?
What?
Gloria, leaving us in the lurch like that.
Oh, no. She's worked hard all week.
Women always let you down.
No, I wouldn't say that, Crompton.
Labradors don't.
I beg your pardon?
You want something reliable? Forget about women. Get a Labrador. Can't go wrong.
Thank you so much, Crompton. I will bear that in mind. I'm very sorry, sir. We're not officially open yet.
Well, don't you recognize me?
No, sir. I don't think we've ever had... Gloria?
In living technicolor.
What on earth are you doing dressed like that? You look just like a...
A grockle, right?
Right. I thought you were off for a nice, restful day in the country.
I was, but just about to leave. Did I mention that my nice, restful day in the country involved visiting Beaumont House?
No, you didn't. What do you mean as a...
As a grockle, right. Only way I'm going to know how the members of the public get treated is to become one.
Good idea.
Hey, Jerry.
Jerry?
Fancy doing it with me?
Doing what?
Visiting Beaumont House.
What? Do you mean me as a... in disguise to... No, I couldn't possibly. No, no, actually, I'd rather love to.
I rented a car this morning. Nobody will recognize it.
What about recognizing us?
No problem. The main skill of disguise is presenting yourself in a context in which people don't expect to find you.
All right.
Come on, let's have a peek at you. We haven't got all day. I'm sorry. There. A matching pair of grockles. You look just great.
Yeah, well, I feel like a complete wallet.
Don't knock it. I could have made you black up.
Gloria.
What?
You know, this will never fool Crompton.
Of course it will. Don't worry. I'll create a diversion, okay?
All right.
All right.
Gloria,
What?
I think you better put your gloves on.
Oh, right. What is your problem?
You just can't come and park like that.
Is the car parked?
But I haven't waved you in, have I?
I said, is the car parked?
Well, maybe, but...
Then defense rests. Take it light, my man. Ain't no thing. Do that like I'm parking a jumbo jet. Come on, bro, let's go.
Yeah, wicked, man.
And next time you come here, see that you're properly dressed. And what do you want?
Yo, sweet mama. Two.
Two, please. You must never forget. The biggest doors open to the littlest keys. Yes, thank you, and if you please.
Cut me some slack, Jack. Then make that two Palia.
Adults?
Oh, mama, that's a cold shot. Don't me and my main man here look like we've grown up enough yet?
Don't be pert, young man. That's £3.50 each, making a total of... Will you please keep your money until I ask you for it? And as you go round Beaumont House, will you please remember...
Hey, mama, don't freak no sweat. I would treat your pad just like it was my very own.
I was afraid of that.
Yeah, right on, bro.
Right. And what do you want?
Excuse me, could I take your tickets, please?
Oh, pretty lady. Why?
Well, I don't know. Nobody's ever asked me that before.
Here at Beaumont was granted the title of Viscount Debley in 1621 by King James I of England and VI of Scotland, who was born in 1566, acceded to the throne of Scotland in 1567, became King of England in 1603, and died in 1626. This portrait, which dates from about 1636, is the work of Sir Anthony Van Dyck, who was born in 1599 and died in 1641.
You know, Evelyn's been our chief guide for years.
Really?
Yes, you'll never guess when she started the job.
1620.
You have been born in 1575. Baby, please. 1575. Van Dyck came to London in 1620.
worse. You could take all the breeding in the lot we had through here this afternoon, put it in a thimble, and still have room for a teaspoon of cod liver oil.
Yes, you know, I even had people giggling during my talk about the Van Dyke.
Good heavens. The trouble is nobody's properly brought up anymore. It was a sad day for this country when they stopped national service. That was character building. Children nowadays are brought up without enough suffering.
Unlike the children you brought up, Nanny Princeton. Unlike Master Gerald.
Oh, no. I certainly saw to it that he suffered. Now, where's that tea?
Vanessa's bringing it.
Oh, well, I wish she'd hurry up. That girl's all will-dos and no have-dones. My, oh, my, we worked hard this afternoon, didn't we?
Yes, numbers still down on last year, though.
What you have to realize, Evelyn, is that it's not just the numbers going round Beaumont House. It's the class of person that matters. Beaumont House only has room for people of breeding.
Go on, I'm glad to be shot at that load of flaming grottles.
Except for Crumpton.
Sorry it took so long.
So it should be.
Sorry, Nanny Princeton.
Well, I only wish Miss Hepburn had had the privilege of watching us this afternoon. Then maybe she'd realise what real work is.
Yes. She'd know it's not all fancy clothes and fiddle-faddle and fox machines.
Fax machines, Nanny Princeton.
Don't quibble, Vanessa. You know what I mean. Oh, no.
I'm sorry, sir. Beaumont House is closed.
I know, but I was here while it was open.
Glory!
Oh, dear.
There will be a meeting for all staff members in here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. sharp.
Oh.
But as for the rest of this evening, just
what?
enjoy.
Joy.
Right, let's put it down here.
No, a little to the left. No, back a bit. No, back. Oh, I'm not sure.
This will do.
Oh, thank you, Gerald.
No problem.
And thank you, Crumpton.
My pleasure, Miss Hepburn. Have a nice evening.
Clearly your meeting this morning with Crompton had some effect.
He and Vanessa, no problem.
Ah, but Nanny Princeton and Evelyn.
Now, that is a problem. Don't worry, though. Now, look, Gerald, are you still happy to take Evelyn around the house on Sunday?
Well, certainly, yes, if it'll help, but she's not going to like you doing her guided tour, though.
Oh, it's only the once, just to show her there is another way of doing it.
Oh, so your way's going to be different, is it?
You betcha.
Well, be careful. There's a Women's Institute party booked for Sunday.
Why, is that bad?
Take my word for it. I think you'll find it interesting.
I'll survive. You're talking to somebody who survived Philadelphia. Slowly, you know. I'm going to remove all traces of Brigadier Transome from this bedroom.
Good luck.
Eventually, even the smell of his pipe, or at least, I can't tell, was it his pipe or his socks?
Yes, we could never tell either.
I'm going to make this bedroom ooze with sexuality.
Oh, good. That will be nice. I better be...
Well, Brigadier Transome didn't even try to make it sexy, did he?
No. Well, you see, a man doesn't aim to make his bedroom sexy, does he?
What?
Well, sort of sexiness isn't a term one would use about men.
No?
Well, not about most Englishmen, anyway.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is that Englishmen and sexiness, it's a contradiction in terms.
You mean nobody's ever described you as sexy?
Me? Good heavens, no. Stella, better be off.
Gerald, you're not embarrassed talking about sex, are you?
What, embarrassed? No, not at all. No, I've just got to go.
You got a girl at the moment?
What a peculiar question.
Now, why's it got to be peculiar?
Well, because I'm not used to people being so direct.
Okay. Go the pretty way if you like. I find for me, direct usually works.
Right. All right, then. Well, to answer your question, no, I do not have a girl at the moment. The fact is, it's only been 2 years since Venetia died, and that's it.
And you haven't started dating any of the girls you knew before Venetia?
No.
Why not?
Well, there weren't any.
You want to run that back by me again?
I said there weren't any.
Girls?
Right.
Before Venetia?
Right.
Ah.
You see, when we met, it was as if we'd found the perfect partner, you know, the ideal match.
You make it sound like a game of tennis.
All right, then, yes, the perfect game of tennis.
But just singles?
Yes.
Ah.
So come on, then. Must have been men in your life. Have you never found your perfect tennis partner?
Yes, not just the once, though.
Oh, doubles, eh?
I'm afraid you're going to have to think of a game other than tennis, Gerald.
Oh, really? Well, I wonder what sport would be more appropriate then.
Think football.
Good Lord. Do you mean to say there have been 11 men in your life?
Not that kind of football.
Oh. So you don't play rugger, do you?
Ever heard of American football, Gerald?
Oh, yes, yes. That's the one where they have sort of hundreds of men swarming all over them. Good Lord.
Aha!
Miss Heber.
Oh, good evening.
Burning the midnight oil.
No, just doing some research into the Hope Beaumont family.
You must never forget to be pretty maids all in a row. The longer you sleep, the longer you'll grow.
I think I've grown quite long enough, Nanny Princeton.
Oh, at last you called me by my proper name.
In accordance with our agreement this morning.
Oh, yes.
Now, come on, that was the deal. I call you Nanny Princeton, and you say what I asked you to say next Sunday.
Well,
Oh, please, Nanny Princeton.
But
you must never forget, the biggest door is open to the littlest keys. Yes, thank you, and if you please.
Oh, very well, I'll try it.
Ouch. This Hope Beaumont family is some kind of hot.
Thank you very much, Crompton.
You're welcome, sir. And, have a nice day.
Yes, let's not overdo it, eh, Crompton?
Gerald! Gerald! I can't...
Oh, I'm sorry. There we are. Steady. I've got you.
I couldn't get down.
Sorry. Now, come along. Come along.
Are you sure you should be paying for these, Master General?
Oh, certainly, yes. We want to share the total experience, don't we, Evelyn?
Yes. I can't wait to see Gloria coping with the WI.
Very well, then. £7, please.
There we are. Thank you.
And,
Yes?
I just want to say...
What?
That is, I've been asked to say...
What?
Enjoy.
Now, I'm sure you ladies from the Women's Institute didn't come all this way for a boring old history lesson, did you? Now, not a lot of people know the real secrets of the Hope Beaumont family. Take the first Viscount here. Now, he had a reputation for being a bit of a ladies' man. So much so that the gossip John Aubrey in his Brief Lives wrote that my lord in his youth was very wild and libidinous, so that 'twas said no petticoat was safe in 5 counties. Wait for it, it gets better. The frequency with which he leapt in and out of ladies' beds earned him the nickname Jumping Gerald. The list of the names of his mistresses was said to have covered 5 pages, and that closely writ.
This is appalling. Shut up, I'm listening.
And it is said that the first Viscount's character and characteristics have been passed down from generation to generation along with the title. What is more, ladies, aren't we lucky? There's the current Viscount now, Gerald Hope Beaumont, 16th Viscount de Blee. Hi, Gerald.
Hi, Gloria. Ladies, please.
You're in the land of hope
conqueror.
We go forward into space.
We've got lords, ladies, kings and queens.
Pomp and circumstance, pipe dreams.
Background culture, pure tradition.
We rely on capitalism.
You destroyed our language without restraint.
You're only upset because we is what you ain't. Land of hope and gloria. There's hope, there's you and I.
Sound around? What on earth is Gloria up to this time?
Nothing, I hope, Evelyn. When is Miss Hepburn going to realise that things should be left as they are? Change is almost invariably bad. I've hardly changed at all. In over 50 years, you know.
I do know.
So that proves something, doesn't it?
Yes, Nanny Princeton, but what?
Well, nothing in particular. Just that it's always best to leave well enough alone. The little boy who chopped and changed ended up as quite deranged.
Ah, yes. Audiovisual services, it said on the van, didn't it? You don't think Gloria's planning to stage a Son et Lumière at Beaumont House, do you?
I hope not. I went to one of those once, quite dreadful. I couldn't hear the song, and the Lumière kept shining in my eyes.
Well, whatever she's up to, I think as chief guide, I should have been consulted.
Yes.
But apparently consulting me is not part of the Gloria Hepburn style of management. In fact, the only person she does consult with any regularity is Gerald.
Yes, and don't imagine I approve of that.
Oh, I didn't for a moment.
No, from the time Master Gerald was a tiny thing, I was always extremely careful to see he played with the right sort of child.
And Miss Hepburn isn't the right sort of child?
Evelyn, dear, how could she be? She's American.
Well, the man from Soundaround certainly seems keen to get our business anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah, he was a good salesman.
Ah, no, he's too pushy for my taste.
Good salesmen are pushy. I know it goes against the grain of all your fine British upbringing to have a positive approach to anything, Gerald, but believe you me, that's what you gotta have if you want to sell. You gotta be up front. You gotta have charisma. I mean, back in the States, do you know what happens to people who don't have any charisma?
Yes, they become president, don't they?
Anyway, I think we'll go with Mr. Soundaround. His rates aren't bad, so all we have to do is discuss the artwork.
Well, he's produced quite a range of stuff, hasn't he? Look at this. Aerobics for all.
Yeah, and he's even muscling in on the self-improvement market. How to Get Your Way at All Times, presumably written by Nanny Princeton.
Well, what do we got here?
What is it?
Good Lord.
What is it?
Sexy Sylvie strips again.
Ah.
Do you think this is actually striptease on cassette?
Sure. Apparently a lot of men like it better than the real thing.
Really? Why?
Well, the girls are prettier.
Oh, what do you mean in their imagination? I see, sort of when they start to take off all that... Ah, yes, well... Rain seems to be holding off, doesn't it?
You know, until I came over here, I never really believed that stuff about the British always falling back on the weather every time the conversation got difficult.
I don't know where you heard that. It's an absolute load of rubbish. Look, it has started to rain.
Anyway, I think we'll get back to Mr. Soundaround and tell him, yes, we do want to use his multiple copying facilities.
Yes, and his production facilities, surely.
No.
Ah, well then who produces the tape?
We do, Gerald.
Do we? I say, what fun.
So what I'm proposing we should do is to have a tour of Beaumont House available on tape for those who want it.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I see, Gloria. Yet another of your blatant attempts to get rid of me and my guides.
No, Evelyn, we're talking alternatives here. Visitors who want guided tours can still have guided tours, but those who prefer to listen to personal stereos can.
Personal stereos? Are those dreadful things with wires that young oiks stick in their ears?
Yeah. My brother Derek has one of them plugged in all the time he's on the tractor. Listens to different things according to what he's doing. When he's ploughing, it's Tom Jones. When he's muck spreading, it's Barry Manilow.
But Gloria, what possible advantage can a personal stereo have over a real guide?
Probably be prettier.
For a start, it would enable the visitor to travel at his or her own pace.
I see. A license for dawdling.
Yes, you get terrible traffic jams in the long gallery.
It could also at times save staff.
Who wants to save staff?
Are you suggesting that I am incapable of keeping my guide roster up to scratch?
No, Evelyn, I'm not. I'm just trying to go through the advantages of my proposal.
But there aren't any advantages.
No, there aren't.
The other point is that the cassettes could be for sale in the shop.
Frightful idea.
Oh, terrible. Could they?
So that people could take them home as a permanent souvenir of their visit to Beaumont House.
What an appalling notion. Don't you agree, Evelyn?
Well, no, actually, Nanny Princeton. I think it's a rather wonderful notion.
What?
Yeah, Gloria, I'm sorry.
What?
You know, I must say it. You may have noticed over the past few weeks that there has been the odd moment when I haven't agreed fully with your plans for Beaumont House.
Well, I did just kind of pick up the odd hint of that, yes.
Like from the way you kept on screaming and gnashing your teeth, Evelyn, eh?
I must say, on this occasion, I think you've come up with an absolutely brilliant idea.
Well, thank you very much.
No. It has everything going for it. As you say, the visitors can enjoy a thorough, informed tour at their own pace, and then at the end of their visit, they can go to the shop, buy their own copy of the tape, and from that moment on, whenever they want to, they can listen to my voice giving my guided tour again.
Well, yeah, there is one small detail I think I should tell you.
What's that?
I hope you won't be offended.
Oh, now, Gloria, can you imagine anything you might say offending me?
Well, the thing is...
Yes?
That the voice in the commentary that will be on the tape won't be yours.
I see. Huh.
And from me, too.
Oh, well, Gloria, I'm afraid once again you've offended the Crisp Sisters.
The Crisp Sisters?
Yeah, well, that's how I always think of them. Salt and vinegar.
Right.
Hey, Sexy Sylvie strips again? What's that, then?
Hands off, Crompton.
Oh.
There. With that lettering for the main title and a nice photograph of Beaumont House on the front, we'll have a nice little package here, won't we, Vanessa? Vanessa?
What? Oh, sorry, Gloria. I was just thinking.
What?
Well, you know you were going through the names of actors who might be right to voice the commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't think we could get Arnold Schwarzenegger, do you?
Hi.
Oh, Gloria, do come in.
Vanessa gave me a message. You got my script okay, then?
Yes, thank you.
Well, does it sell Beaumont House or does it sell Beaumont House?
Well, yes, it certainly does.
Yeah, I was really pleased with this bit. Beaumont House is a treasure house. It oozes with over 4 centuries of genuine art and history. Here's where you can recapture some of that splendor and majesty of Tudor England. That same old England of the First Elizabeth, of the great William Shakespeare himself, of Francis Drake and Sir Walter Raleigh. Ha! I love that part.
Yes.
Well, come on, tell me you like it too. Well, you do like it, don't you?
Seems to have cleared up after yesterday's storm.
Gerald Hope Beaumont, you know, I think I'm beginning to understand you.
Really?
Yeah, really. It's not just sex that makes you talk about the weather, is it?
Isn't it?
No, it isn't. It's anything at all that's in the least bit awkward.
Possibly.
Like telling me you think my script stinks.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, yes, you did. Come on, all right, out with it. Come on, let's have it. What is wrong with my script? Is it illiterate?
No, it's not.
Then what the hell's wrong with it?
It's, too American.
Too American? Too American? What the hell's that supposed to mean, too American?
It means it tries too hard.
Tries too hard. That's your definition of American, is it?
Well, it's a definition of American. I think it's probably quite a good definition of American.
Tries too hard. So what is wrong with that? Just because you're British, you're brought up not to try at all. Just because you're brought up to imagine that everything's gonna just drop into your lap without any effort on your part whatsoever. Just because, how dare you say my script stinks?
It's true.
Okay. Then I assume you have an alternative. I assume you've written a script that's better than mine.
I have, actually.
Oh, I see. And this script doesn't try too hard, huh? And I assume it should be delivered by an actor who doesn't try too hard either, Nice, casual, throwaway style, huh? So who's going to give it? Robert Redford?
It's not written to be delivered by an actor.
Oh, not by an actor, I see. So who is going to deliver it? The milkman?
I'm going to deliver it.
What?
Hello. My name's Gerald Hope Beaumont, and I'd like to welcome you to Beaumont House. I'm doing this chat because members of my family have lived here for over 400 years. We've all loved this house. I love it, and I want to share some of the things I love about it with you. There. I don't think that tries too hard, do you?
No, no.
Good heavens, do I detect Gloria Hepburn lost for words?
No, never. You know what, Gerald? Ever since I was a child, there's one thing that I've always been very bad at doing.
Just the one?
Yes, just the one. It's admitting when I'm in the wrong.
Oh, yes, of course. And you feel this is one of those occasions
I think that perhaps this may be one... I mean, what I mean is... What I'm trying to say is... Boy, it sure is getting cloudy out there, isn't it? Now, if we've got the timing on the tape right, our guinea pig should be entering the Great Hall now.
She stands for a moment in the doorway to take in the splendor of the room, moves casually towards the third Earl Rupert, turns back towards the Tudor cabinet and the second Earl.
Oh, great, Vanessa, now you're cooking.
Moves slowly to look at the fireplace.
It works, girl. Hope Beaumont, it works. What on earth's the matter with her, Gerald? She's 3 minutes behind schedule.
I don't know. You did tell her not to stop the tape.
Well, sure I did. Vanessa? What on earth's the matter with her? Is she sick?
No, I think she just needs new batteries.
There it is, all edited and perfect.
Great.
Now, Vanessa, are you still okay to drop this in to Mr. Sound around on your way home today?
Of course.
Now, don't forget to give him those sleeves that I've marked up for the artwork.
Well, I won't forget. Can you do the door for me? I've got to go to the post office and get this lock franked.
Great. See you later. I'll put the tape in my desk drawer, okay? Top left.
Okay, fine.
Bye. Evelyn, once again, I'm really sorry that I did use your voice for the tape. But when you hear how Gerald's done it, you really will see that it was the right decision to make. Look, don't take my word for it. Just listen to it. I bet you'll be convinced.
Gloria, if you think I have any interest in listening to the tape you have produced, then you are just once again demonstrating the one quality for which your country is internationally renowned: total lack of sensitivity.
Thank you. And thank you very much for once again demonstrating the one quality for which your country is internationally renowned: pig-headed, snotty-nosed, tight-assed narrow-mindedness. You have a nice day now.
But, Master Gerald, just ask yourself, can you imagine any of the other Hope Beaumonts putting their voice on tape for common people to listen to?
I have just asked myself, and the answer is most definitely yes. I mean, the Hope Beaumonts have always been ready to try new things. The 8th Viscount was one of the first Englishmen to go up in a hot air balloon. It's a pity he came down again so fast, but I'm sure that's the way he wanted to go.
There's a difference between a member of the British aristocracy going up in a hot air balloon and performing on a personal stereo. Really, Master Gerald, can you imagine Venetia approving of her husband muttering tourist information into the grubby earholes of the masses?
You know, I'm sure there are many things I do of which my late wife would not approve, but I think making this tape has been a useful investment of my time. And, you know, much more importantly than that, I had a lot of fun doing it.
Fun? Fun? Master Gerald, you're a grown man. Grown men shouldn't have fun.
Nor should children if they're brought up by you, Nanny, hey?
I certainly always endeavoured to keep fun out of any nursery I was in charge of.
Oh, yes, you did.
And it's that kind of upbringing that's made you the man you are today.
I'm afraid you could be right, Nanny.
You sound almost regretful.
I am, Nanny Princeton.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I brought you up absolutely perfectly. Can you think of any possible advantages of being brought up any other way?
Yes, I can. I think if I had been brought up any other way, any other way you care to mention, I'd have been a lot less uptight.
Uptight? What on earth does that mean?
Oh, it's an American expression.
American, oh, I see. I think I begin to understand where you've been getting all these ridiculous notions about having fun, Master Gerald. Come in.
Oh, Gerald, I thought Nanny Princeton would be on her own.
Oh, that's all right, Evelyn. I was off anyway.
I hope it's not on my account.
No, it's not on your account.
Oh.
Bye, Evelyn. Bye, Nanny Princeton.
I think that young man's getting into some rather unsuitable company.
Playing with the wrong sort of child?
Exactly. Playing with the wrong sort of child.
Well, here's more evidence of just that. It's the tape Gerald's produced for the visitors.
Oh, dear. What's it like? Is it very common?
I don't know. I haven't listened yet. I thought you'd like to hear it with me.
Ah. So that we can disapprove together. How thoughtful.
Right. Let's hear the worst.
Hello there, baby. I'm going to take everything off to you, right down to my underwear. I have some rather sexy underwear, you know. Oh, that
Good heavens. Master Gerald's done something funny to his voice, hasn't he?
No, Nanny Princeton. It's the wrong tape.
Oh, that would explain it. Goodness, wouldn't it have been terrible if that tape had got played to the visitors by mistake?
Yes.
Evelyn, I was just, that is, I was, well, I must, see you.
Vanessa, I was just, that is, I was, well, I must see you.
Good, huh?
Terrific. So when do we get to try them out on the grockles?
Well, no time like the present. Doors open in 10 minutes. We'll do it with the first group in.
Then we'll know if my dulcet tones appeal to genuine members of the public, won't we?
We certainly will.
That is making me feel sort of twitchy.
That's first night nerves, Gerald.
Oh.
Break a leg.
What?
That's an old theatrical saying.
Oh.
Oh, good. Nanny Prince is in position. We better clue her in on what she's got to do.
I don't want that thing there, Captain. You know I suffer from claustrophobia.
You don't have to bother about that. That wood's been treated.
Is this cupboard really necessary?
Yes, we have to have somewhere to put the stereos in.
I don't see why. I'm sure none of the visitors will want to use them.
Well, I disagree with you. I think this venture will prove extremely profitable.
Now, Nanny Princeton, I don't want you to charge any money to the first 6 visitors who come in today.
I see. I think this new venture will prove extremely profitable, Master Gerald.
But instead, I want you to offer them the recorded guide as an experiment.
The job I agreed to do was to sell tickets, not to peddle Japanese electronics.
Oh, please, look, Nanny Princeton.
Look, talking of Japanese electronics, where are the actual machines?
Oh, they're still in the old library. Crompton, would you mind?
No problem, Gloria.
Thank you. And Nanny Princeton, when you're talking to the visitors, you must never forget.
What?
There's a rule that must not be forgot. A smile costs nothing and pays a lot.
So, this is it, is it?
Yep. The latest hot, heavy metal, acid house, hip-hop, bebop, funk, rock, rap from Jerry Hope Beaumont and his ancestors. Wow! What you say?
You know, frequently, Miss Hepburn, I think life would be a lot simpler if you'd come over here with an interpreter.
Now, Nanny Princeton, look, remember to tell the visitors to go straight through into the lower hall and not to switch on the tapes until they're there.
Yes, of course, Master.
And to follow the instructions on the tape and do exactly as they're told.
Yes, yes.
Oh, thank you, Compton. Gerald, come on, help me put the tapes in.
Okay.
Okay?
Ooh, I feel good.
These things are made in Korea.
Yes, so?
Well, it just seems very inappropriate to have foreign things in a typically English setting. I mean, when you look across at that typically English lower hall and see all those wonderful paintings...
Yes, which typically English paintings did you have in mind, Nanny? The Van Dyck, the Rubens, or the Rembrandt? Right, time to let them in. Open the doors, Crompton.
Oh, certainly.
And we had better make ourselves scarce and see what happens.
Hello, my name's Gerald Hope Beaumont. I'd like to welcome you to Beaumont House. I'm doing this chat because members of my family have lived here for over 400 years. We all...
Right, here they come. The moment of truth is upon us.
And they start now.
My tasteful little introduction, blah, blah, blah. And they should turn to the Van Dyck now.
Oh, way to go, way to go. We cracked it.
Oh, no, no, not the aerobics tape.
You're in the land of hope and gloria, a land of do or die. You're in the land of hope and gloria, where aspirations run high.
We go back to William the Conqueror.
We go forward into space.
We've got lords, ladies, kings and queens.
Pomp and circumstance, pipe dreams.
Background culture, pure tradition.
We rely on capitalism.
You destroyed our language without restraint.
You're only upset because we is what you ain't.
Land of hope and gloria, there's hope, there's you and I.
Mrs. Toop Kimberley.
What?
Mrs. Toop Kimberley. She's been a guide before. I could ask her to step into the breach.
Ah, right. 473
See, she could do Tuesday afternoons because her chihuahua goes to obedience classes.
What?
Her chihuahua, Anstruther. He's a great commitment to her, but on Tuesday afternoons he goes to his obedience classes, so she has a few hours free.
Ah, right. 473 pounds 20.
You needn't bother going on doing that, you know, Gloria. The late Brigadier Transome always kept immaculate accounts.
I don't care if they're immaculate, Evelyn. I'm concerned as to whether or not they are accurate. And so far, I've found 5 mistakes in the first 2 pages.
Oh. Well, of course, the Brigadier always had a very refreshing attitude to that sort of thing. Always used to say, what's the odd pound here or there?
The odd pound here or there is the difference between profit and loss.
Oh, you Americans are always so commercial.
It's because I'm commercial that I was given this job. It's because... Oh, never mind. Look, all I'm trying to say is that I have to go through these accounts, and that is something which is easier to do in total silence, okay? £473.20.
Yes, I can see that.
Well, if you can see it, why don't you just belt up?
I'm sorry. I was only being sympathetic.
Okay, thank you. Your sympathy is appreciated. And now will you just belt up? £473.20.
Mrs. Toop Kimberly.
What, Vanessa?
I've just had a thought, Evelyn. Mrs. Toop Kimberly could stand in as a guide.
I'm out of here.
I knew that woman was unsuitable for Beaumont House the minute she arrived. And the good thing is...
What?
I think she's beginning to realise it. Oh, Mrs. Toop Kimberly. Evelyn Sperling from Beaumont House. Yes. How's Anstruther? Oh. Oh, dear. Well, Chihuahuas shouldn't play with Rottweilers, should they?
Master Gerald, have you ever heard me use the expression, you shouldn't try to run before you can walk?
Yes, Nanny Princeton, many times.
A thing doesn't become any less worth saying because it's been said before.
If it did, it would write off your entire conversation.
This tea's too weak to drown a tadpole.
Yes, we'll just leave it, I'm sure. It'll be fine.
What I'm saying is that Miss Hepburn's trying to make too many changes too quickly.
Now, look, Gloria's just trying to maximise the potential.
I hadn't finished, Master Gerald. I know one can't expect Americans to have any respect for tradition. In their country, if you're second generation, it's equivalent to having come over with William the Conqueror. But Miss Hepburn should realise that if a thing's been done the same way for 20 years, then there's probably a reason.
Yes, and the reason is that for 20 years, nobody has thought of doing it more efficiently.
Listen, Master Gerald, do you remember the old white £5 note?
No.
Well, they changed it for a blue one, and do you know what happened?
No, what?
Inflation.
I'm sorry?
Inflation, straight away. That's what happened. And it's the same with Miss Hepburn.
What's the same?
If she insists on making changes at Beaumont House, she must be very careful that she makes them gradually and tactfully.
Well, I can assure you, Nanny, that whatever Gloria does, she will do it with the maximum of tact.
Gerald, why is it that I always end up telling Evelyn to belt up? Oh, Nanny Princeton, hi.
Hi.
And what's Evelyn done to upset you this morning, Gloria?
Oh, you know the usual things like breathing.
You didn't tell her about that idea of putting the guide roster on computer, did you?
It didn't seem the moment.
Oh.
If you start interfering with the way Evelyn organises the guides, Miss Hepburn, you'll have serious trouble on your hands.
I just want to make the system more efficient, Nanny Princeton.
But you can't make the guides more efficient. They're volunteers.
Exactly. And I'm afraid for me, speaking as a professional, the word volunteer always means amateur.
But Evelyn herself is a volunteer.
Now, look, the point is, Nanny Princeton, that Gloria is checking through everything about the way Beaumont House was run in the past, and she's going to see where improvements are possible.
Oh.
That's why she's going through Brigadier Transom's accounts and looking at the guide roster and the running of the shop.
The shop? What are you going to do to the shop?
Just try to run it more efficiently.
But Frida runs the shop, Evelyn's sister, Frida.
Yes, so?
She's run it for nearly 10 years and there's never been any trouble.
No, equally, there's never been any profit, and Gloria wants to know why it is.
Oh. Finding that out won't involve going into the shop, will it?
Yes, of course it will. Why not?
Well, it's just that Frida's rather highly strung and she doesn't really like people going into the shop.
Well, la-di-da. Hey, Gerald, you don't think we could be getting close to the reason why the shop's never made a profit, do you?
Oh, Crumpton, you gave me quite a turn. For one horrible moment there, I thought you were a customer. You might want to buy something and make me use that horrid cash register again.
No, it's just a new delivery of T-shirts.
Oh.
Here. This lot's just the same as the last lot.
Well, they say you shouldn't change a winning formula.
But it isn't a winning formula, is it? Nobody buys them.
Well...
Where do you want these boxes?
Oh, in here, please.
What? Are they all T-shirts?
And tea towels, yes.
Well, what on earth do you keep on reordering them for?
Well, if I don't...
Mm-hmm.
The manufacturers won't think I'm doing good business, will they?
Now, you see, this is the problem. We've got to get the grockles coming out a different way from the way they're going in.
Yeah, but where else can they come out?
They could come out here.
What do you mean, through the shop?
Absolutely. Thus making it impossible for them to avoid seeing all the goods that are on display.
That's a nice idea. I like that. Yeah, show the dog the rabbit, eh?
You do say some peculiar things, Gerald. I assume it's because you're English.
Yeah, I think it must be. Now, look, let me tell Frida about your plan.
Yeah, if you like.
Yes, well, you see, she's a little highly strung, and I think it might come a little better from me.
Okay. You're the Viscount.
Thank you.
Well, that's it, then.
Frida!
Bother.
Good afternoon, Frida.
Good afternoon, Miss Hepburn.
Oh, please, call me Gloria.
Now, Frida, Gloria's had an idea.
Oh, dear.
No, come on. It's one of those wonderful ideas that kills two birds with one stone. Come along, Frida. Who doesn't like that sort of idea,
Birds?
Shut up. Now, Frida, Gloria's idea is that we reroute the visitor's exit from the house through here, so that none of them can avoid seeing all this wonderful stuff you've got on show. So you'll end up doing a lot more business. Right, what do you say to that idea, Frida,
Just like to say, I think that came a lot better from you, Gerald.
And the result of it is she's retired to bed with a migraine.
Well, isn't that just typical? There's a kind of person who always has to think up some fancy name for every ailment. They don't have coughs. They always have just a touch of bronchitis. Common or garden stomach upsets aren't good enough for them. It has to be diverticulitis. But no. They're not content with headaches like the rest of us. They have to have migraines. Migraines. I'd say that's Miss Hepburn all over.
Oh, it isn't Gloria who's got the migraine. It's Frida.
Oh, poor Frida. She does. I do hope it's not one of her bad ones.
She's not at all well. No, it seems to me we've had nothing but trouble at Beaumont House since a certain person arrived from Philadelphia, and I defy anyone to say anything to the contrary.
Well, I'd just like to say that
Vanessa! No one asked your opinion. And if, Nanny Princeton, what you say about Gloria proposing to meddle with my guide roster is true...
You take my word for it.
Well, I don't know where it will all end.
I do. In tears. As soon as she arrived, I knew it'd end in tears.
Look, Evelyn, I would like to say...
You will excuse me. I have to look after my sister, who is not at all well. Good night, Nanny Princeton. Good night, Vanessa.
Evelyn, I'm trying to say...
And Gloria, I may well not be able to get into the office for the next few days, but I'm sure you'll have no problems sorting out my guide roster on your own with the help of your wonderful computer.
Evelyn, come on.
And I do hope you'll excuse me, too. Oh, I just would like to say one thing.
Amaze me.
Little girls who want to please their mothers show lots of thought and care for others.
You can go too, Vanessa. It's late.
Okay. Gloria, I appreciate what you're trying to do here.
Thanks. That's one.
Is there anything you want before I...
No, just, Oh, there is one thing. Could you
Yes?
just find the application form I filled out to come here? I know it's on file somewhere.
Oh, yes, of course. But why?
I just want to reread what I wrote and see why I ever thought I was mildly suitable for this job.
Oh, but Gloria.
Thanks.
I'd just like to say... good night.
Good night, Vanessa.
Ah, you're still here.
Well, nothing wrong with your powers of observation, is there, Gerald?
Now look, Gloria, you mustn't worry about anything Evelyn says.
Do you imagine I'd let that kind of thing get to me? To me? There's one thing that can always be said is that Gloria Hepburn is very positive in her thinking.
Good. What are you writing?
Oh, it's nothing, really.
Now look, it's not a letter of resignation, is it?
Never leave home without one.
Why? You are doing wonderfully in this job.
You ask Evelyn if I am. Ask Nanny Princeton.
Evelyn and Nanny Princeton's opinions don't matter. Are you unhappy here?
No. Well, sure, sometimes it seems a long way from home, but it's not that.
Then what is it?
It's just so frustrating trying to get anything to happen in this country.
Well, you're not the first person to have noticed that. In fact, even the Romans gave up trying after a few years.
I mean, back home, you want to do something, you go out there and you do it, okay? Maybe it doesn't work, but at least you give it your best shot. Here, you suggest doing something, and every member of the entire population of the British Isles gives you a different reason as to why it can't be done.
Infuriating, isn't it?
Well, why don't you just sit there saying it's infuriating? Why don't you get up and try to change it?
Oh, no, it can't be done.
Exactly. Well, doesn't it drive you crazy?
No, we are trained to it from birth.
Well, it sure drives me crazy.
I see from this it's your birthday next week.
So what?
I just wondered how you were planning to celebrate it.
Celebrate, huh? What I really feel like doing is dressing up and going to stuff my face on seafood at Bookbinders.
That's not a restaurant I know. Where's that?
Philadelphia.
Oh. No, I was just wondering...
what?
If by any chance you still happen to be in this country.
Yes?
Whether I could take you out for a birthday dinner.
Well, I'd like that, Gerald, very much. If I'm still in the country.
Oh, yes, of course. And look, I'm very sorry to see you so down.
Who says I'm down?
Oh, come on, Gloria, I know you're well known for your positive thinking, but it does occur to me, I could be wrong, of course, but it does occur to me that you might be the minutest little bit down.
I am not down, as you say. Listen, I can do this job. I can make Beaumont House successful, and shall I tell you why?
I think you're probably going to.
It's because I'm good. I don't think you realize just how lucky you are to have me here working for you.
Oh, come on.
Don't give me that! You have got just about the best leisure manager either side of the Atlantic. That's what you got here. And the only thing I want to know is, why the hell are you standing there grinning at me like that?
I'm just very glad to see you're getting better, Gloria.
Hoppa!
Good night.
And I wondered whether you might be able to be a guide this afternoon. Oh, I know it's short notice. Oh, yes, well, I see. Bunions can be nasty, can't they?
Oh, hello, this is Gloria Hepburn from
Yes,
Beaumont
all right.
House. But, Mr. Trimble, if you're now 68 and you haven't had a call yet from the MCC asking you to play, don't you think... Yes, so you better stay by the phone. There's got to be a first time. Okay, fine. Thank you.
When did this agoraphobia start?
Oh, no,
Right, I see. Goodbye.
No, you're not available. But Mrs. Routledge, that's the third litter of kittens this week. How many cats have you got, anyway? Okay, I get the message. Thank you. Goodbye. Not one of them free. Evelyn's gotten to every last one of them.
So are you going to ring her?
No way. Humble pie is one dish we don't specialize in Philadelphia. No. Beaumont House will be open to the public this afternoon as advertised, and there will be a guide in each of the public rooms as advertised. And you're one of them.
I can't! Well, I haven't done all the training.
Don't be so unambitious, Vanessa, and British! Think American, think big. Remember, in America, anyone can be president. Hi, welcome to Beaumont House. Thank you. Please come in.
Excuse me. This is the Glade Hall, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it certainly is.
And can you tell me, is the fireplace original?
Well, it's quite original, isn't it? I mean, I haven't got one like that. Have
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, that's the way we like to keep things here at Beaumont House, really free and easy. Bye-bye now. Not that free and easy.
So, we're getting things stolen again now, are we? What a terrible shame.
Now, come on, Nana. You know that stuff wasn't worth a great deal.
No, but it's not the value that matters. It's the fact that it happened. Evelyn has taught every one of her guides exactly how to do the job. Where to stand, so that they can keep an eye on everything that's on display. Her system works.
Yes, it does, but I don't...
Americans wouldn't understand that. There are some British things Americans should never be allowed near. Do you remember Mary Poppins?
Mary Poppins? Now, what on earth has that got to do with anything?
It just proves my point, that Americans should be kept away from British institutions.
What proves your point, Nanny?
Dick Van Dyke's Cockney accent.
And Evelyn, I just wanted to say that you were right and I was wrong. And I'm very, very sorry. And the other thing I wanted to say is...
I can't do it. I cannot call that woman. I can't. Now, Gloria, you're in the wrong, so you gotta own up, right? Right. Remember George Washington? Who cut down the cherry tree, son?
Father, I cannot tell a lie. I did it with my little hatchet.
Well, Evelyn Sperling, I know who I'd like to do with my little hatchet. Oh, is that Evelyn Sperling? Ah, good afternoon, Frida.
Crompton?
Now, what's this then? Oh, potpourri.
Potpourri, do you know what it is?
Oh, yeah, sure. My cousin's a Catholic.
Yes, Crompton. Now, look, I'm going out to dinner this evening, and I wondered if you might be free.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
No, I wondered if you might be free to drive me and my companion to the restaurant.
Course, no problem. Companion, eh? Wouldn't be Gloria, would it?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, it would.
I see.
Now, Crompton, don't you get the wrong end of the stick. I'm taking Gloria out because it's her birthday. It's not because I find her attractive or anything of that sort.
Oh, thank you so much, Gerald. You have such a way with words.
Sorry, Gloria.
Oh, that looks fine. Absolutely great. Right. Frida, come and have a look. This is really going to knock her out. There, Frida. Now, tell me what you think.
Just like to say, Gloria.
What?
I think that came a lot better from you.
No, she did apologize to me very nicely. Give her her due.
I don't see why we have to give her her due. Seems to me Americans are always quite happy to help themselves to a lot more than their due. Look at the Boston Tea Party.
No, well, I am prepared to forgive and forget.
Yes, I suppose you're right. 1773 is a long time ago.
No, I don't mean the Boston Tea Party. I mean, I'm prepared to forgive and forget what Gloria did.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Oh, don't worry, Nanny. We're winning. She made a great mistake over the guides this afternoon, and the theft played straight into our hands. And then she's certain to alienate Frida again, like the things she does to the shop. No, I shall be very surprised if Miss Gloria Hepburn isn't back in Philadelphia before the month is out. Now, I really must check my guide roster. See we don't have another debacle.
Master Gerald's going out tonight. In his dinner jacket.
Oh, really?
He's got his dinner jacket out of the wardrobe, I noticed.
Oh.
And he hasn't told me where he's going. You wouldn't have any idea where he's going, would you, Evelyn?
I'm sorry, not a clue.
Evelyn!
Oh, Frida, my poor darling.
Have you seen what's happened to the shop?
Oh, I know, dear. All that craft work.
And the potpourri.
And the Victorian dolls.
And that new till that does all the thinking for you and prints out receipts.
I know, dear. I knew you'd hate it all. I told Gloria that.
What do you mean, hate it? I think it's wonderful.
Gerald!
Gloria, you look absolutely beautiful.
Gerald, I know you're only saying that because it's my birthday, not because you find me attractive or anything of that sort.
Look, I didn't intend you to hear that.
Evidently.
No, I mean, it's something I said to Crompton. Even somebody in a blindfold could tell you're attractive.
And what about somebody who could see?
Damn it. I cannot say anything right.
That certainly is true. But let's forget about all that stuff. Tonight, let's just party, shall we?
All right. Tonight we party.
Right.
I promise you an evening of really gracious living. You let me prove to you that chivalry is not dead, and that we can share an evening of pure elegance and sophistication.
I think you've proved that, Gerald.
What's that, Gloria?
That's what I call pure elegance and sophistication.
I didn't mean this bloody car, Crompton.
You're in the land of hope and gloria, a land of do or die. You're in the land of hope and gloria, where aspirations run high.
We go back to William the Conqueror.
We go forward into space.
We've got lords, ladies, kings and queens.
Pomp and circumstance, pipe dreams.
Background culture, pure tradition.
We rely on capitalism.
You destroyed our language without restraint.
You're only upset because we is what you ain't.
Land of hope and gloria, there's hope, there's you and I.
I'm sorry, Master Gerald. I still think what's being proposed is a very bad idea.
Well, we have got to try it, Nanny Princeton. You know, if the tourist side doesn't bring in a lot more money, then the trustees really will sell Beaumont House.
But can't you see, there's a difference between opening the house for the odd summer afternoon to disadvantaged and lower-class English people.
Opening the house to what you call lower-class English people just doesn't bring in enough money.
Don't butt in, Master Gerald. You're not a goat, are you? What I'm saying is that there's a difference between opening Beaumont House to the English public and allowing it to become infested with foreigners.
Now, it is not being infested. Gloria has arranged a discreet overnight stay for 20 American tourists on an upmarket package tour.
Discreet? Americans don't even know the meaning of the word.
Now, remember that Gloria's American, Nanny.
No, that only seems to prove my point.
You cannot say that.
Remember how we used to describe the Americans during the war?
No, actually, I wasn't born during the war, Nanny.
Overpaid, oversexed, and over here.
Well, I don't think you can apply that description to Gloria.
Don't you?
No.
You can't deny she's over here.
Ah, yes, but she's getting considerably less than she would for a comparable job in the States, so she's not being overpaid, and I'm sure that she's not over... any more tea in the pot, now?
Vanessa.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gloria, but I've got to get it right.
Oh, I know.
I've only just started learning the guitar.
I'd never have guessed. You don't know any other tunes by any chance, do you?
Oh, well, I do know one other tune, but I'm not sure it would be quite right for tonight's banquet. I mean, well, what do you think about Daddy's gonna take us to the zoo tomorrow, zoo tomorrow, zoo tomorrow. Daddy's gonna take us to the zoo.
Okay, fine. Let's just stick with Greensleeves, okay? Because after all, it is authentically English.
Oh, yes, and when I finish playing it once, I just start again.
Sure. With 20 of them chattering over their roast beef, they won't even notice.
All right.
Anyway, tonight's just a trial run. If we get into doing this stuff on a regular basis, I'll bring in a real musician. That is, Vanessa, I'll promote you to more responsible duties.
Oh, thank you, Gloria. So tonight's a kind of experiment.
Right. I'm just fitting in with someone else's tour. This group from Houston are over here for the authentic taste of England. Now, they've done London, Bath, the Cotswolds, Stratford-upon-Avon, and tonight they were going to a hotel for an upstairs-downstairs experience which recaptures an earlier age of gracious living and blazing fires. But unfortunately, the hotel recaptured it a bit too literally.
What do you mean?
It burnt down. So, although I hadn't intended on getting into this kind of stuff quite so soon, I figured it was just too good an opportunity to miss. And tonight, Beaumont House will present its own upstairs-downstairs experience. Ah, good afternoon, Mrs. Bridges.
Gloria, I did feel a fool coming from the village like this. The postman asked me who was winning the Boer War.
Who did you say was?
Us, of course.
Evelyn, don't worry. You look terrific. Now, both of you do remember, you're downstairs and the guests are upstairs, so be nice to them.
Be nice to them?
Yes, Evelyn, be nice to them and smile.
Oh, dear.
But don't worry, this is only a trial run. We'll really get it right next time.
I can assure you I will get it right this time. These Americans will never have met such a perfectly behaved cook-housekeeper. It is more than I can say for the rest of the staff.
And what's being proposed isn't respectable for someone of your breeding, Master Gerald.
What do you mean?
For you, the 16th Viscount Debley, to be entertaining foreign tourists to morning coffee, well, it's demeaning. The Hope Beaumont family doesn't do that kind of thing for money.
Oh, Nanny, the Hope Beaumont family fortunes were based on profits from the slave trade. The first Viscount bought the title from James I. The 9th Viscount married the daughter of a steel magnate from Bradford, even though she was built like one of her father's mills. And it was only the outbreak of the First World War that stopped my great-grandfather from selling arms to the Germans. History has proved that we Hope Beaumonts will do absolutely anything for money.
This is different. All the things you've mentioned have by long tradition been regarded as perfectly respectable activities for members of the upper classes.
Ah, but drinking coffee with tourists isn't,
No. That's betraying your heritage.
I do not see why.
Well, you should do. Goodness, didn't you listen to anything I told you when you were a child? We British must never forget we're superior to foreigners.
Oh, Nanny, whatever gave you that idea?
Well, it's obvious. For a start, a lot of foreigners can't even speak the English language properly. And as for Americans, well, they've no restraint. They just go about blowing their own trumpet all the time.
Wow, you guys! I have only organized the most wonderful program for these Americans. Tell me I'm great.
My case rests.
Stand up straight, won't you, Crumpton?
Of course I will, Evelyn. Look, I can manage. I'll be all right.
Still look all wrong to me. I mean, butlers are traditionally known for their innate good breeding. I wonder if you even know how to greet a guest who comes to the house.
Of course I do. I wasn't dragged up in the gutter. There have been Cromptons around Beaumont House for centuries, and we Cromptons have got breeding.
Oh, perhaps you're related to the aristocracy.
So they say.
Beg your pardon?
Rumour has it, the 8th Viscount used to put it about a bit.
Oh, don't be disgusting. Vanessa, don't you know any other tunes?
Well, I do know Daddy's going to take us to the zoo tomorrow.
Right, Vanessa. Stick to Greensleeves. You were about to tell me how you would greet a guest coming to the house, Crumpton. I bet you don't know.
Of course I do. Gloria coached me.
I hate to think what she imagined the butler would say.
I would say, good morning, afternoon, evening, and welcome to Beaumont House. My lord, my lady, sir, madam, according to what's appropriate.
That's very good. You've been rehearsing that in front of the mirror, haven't you?
Well, maybe a bit.
Oh, Vanessa!
And Gerald, you shouldn't let them see you until they come to your rooms for coffee tomorrow morning.
Really? Why not?
Well, they've got to think they're getting a big deal when they meet an authentic English aristocrat. You've got to keep the mystery.
Mystery? He might just as well stand outside the front door and hold his cap out.
And they mustn't see me either.
Really, I don't understand why.
Well, I mean, come on, where does someone like me fit into this kind of circus?
There's another sideshow, I'd imagine.
And presumably, Nanny Princeton, you won't want our guests to see you either.
Guests? These aren't guests. We're talking about tourists.
But you still don't want them to see you.
Good heavens, no. And let me tell you, if I do meet any, I'll leave them in absolutely no doubt as to what I think about them.
Yes, I'm sure you won't, Nanny Princeton.
Well, don't worry, because everybody else is going to be really nice to them. And now what we've got to... Oh, my gosh, the bus is early. Action stations, everyone. Looks like our visitors have arrived.
Goodness, you get a wonderful view of all the comings and goings from up here, don't you, Nanny?
Do you? I'd never really noticed.
Right, here they are, our first 20 overnight visitors, Gloria.
Yeah, just think of all that lovely money, huh?
A typical American reaction.
But just wait a minute.
I thought you said there were going to be 20 of them. There are only 2.
Just wait till I get that tour operator on the phone. Phone's going to be so hot, his eardrums are going to be whistling Yankee Doodle Dandy.
All right, but surely somebody should go down and meet the guests.
I've already tutored Crompton on what to do. It's okay.
All right, well, I'll make myself scarce in the garden. See you later, Nanny.
Good morning, afternoon, evening. Welcome to Beaumont House. My lord, my lady, sir, madam, according to what's appropriate.
No, you listen to me, pal. It is not my problem that all the others came down with food poisoning. You fax me a letter immediately confirming that you're going to pay for all 20 who were booked. Or I have friends in the American leisure business who will see to it that you never get another stateside booking for your authentic taste of English food poisoning. And another thing. The next time you order shepherd's pie, make sure you make it with fresh shepherds. Nothing so satisfying as perforating someone's eardrums when you know you're in the right.
But you always seem to think you're in the right, Gloria.
You got it. Now, the Hoopers. Have they been shown their bedroom?
Yes, and now they're out in the garden having a walk before dinner. They are not easy.
But you're being nice to them?
Oh, yes.
And smiling?
I'm smiling.
Good. Did they like the 4-poster bed in their room?
No.
Why not? That bed was shipped all the way from Italy.
But that was what they complained about. Said it wasn't authentically English.
Oh, come on. What do they want? Never mind. At least they won't be able to complain about tonight's dinner. Game pâté, roast beef and Yorkshire pudding. They can't say that isn't typically English, can they?
No. There is one thing.
What?
Well, you know all the others on the tour got poisoned by the shepherd's pie.
Right, yes.
Well, the reason the Hoopers didn't get food poisoning?
Yes?
They didn't eat it. They're vegetarian.
Right, honey, let's try down here. Boy, I don't know. None of this stuff looks authentically English to me. I mean, look at these. Huh? I mean, where are we, for Pete's sake? Valley of the Pharaohs?
Perhaps this gentleman can explain.
Yeah. You? You the gardener?
That's right, sir, yeah.
Well, Bob, this is cozy, isn't it?
Why, they call that an authentic English meal. Guacamole, quiche Lorraine, what was that other thing?
Ratatouille.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Don't you know any other tunes?
Daddy's gonna take us to the zoo tomorrow. Daddy's gonna take us to the zoo tomorrow. We can play all day.
So, did the Hoopers get their authentic taste of England at breakfast? How did that go?
Not too wonderful, I'm afraid. We forgot to take the labels off the Cyprus grapefruit.
Oh.
Now, Mr. Hooper objected that the marmalade was made of several oranges.
And no doubt that the tea came from China.
Exactly.
You know, it seems as though he's deliberately trying to annoy everybody.
Yes, but don't worry. We are being extremely nice to him, and we are smiling all the time.
Good. No, he's a real difficult customer, that one.
Oh, do you mean he's unusual? I assumed all American tourists behave like that.
No, you take my word for it. What we have here is pure 100% fruitcake. Bob Hooper is in serious need of about 10 years psychoanalysis.
Oh, you're right. Mr. Hooper really is very strange.
What makes you say that?
Well, he didn't seem to like my guitar playing.
Oh, well, there you go. I wonder what on earth he is going to think is authentically English.
Well, I'm sure he'll think Gerald's the genuine article. Well, what's the problem? Gerald is the genuine article. He's a authentic English aristocrat.
I know, but is he what an American like Bob Hooper would think of as an authentic English aristocrat?
Why, what do you think an American like Bob Hooper is going to expect?
I say, all your pep fancy old lamb I've got. Well, come on, what do you think?
Great. Why don't you just tee off?
Oh, you watch it. I'll have you know this suit belonged to my father. It was very much the thing for a country gentleman in his day.
Yeah, well, they can't say all progress is bad, can they? Come on, Gerald, you don't have to do the monocle, you know.
No, I know, I want to. I am determined that this American is going to get what he imagines to be the authentic taste of England.
But why? Why do you care what a nerd like that thinks?
Well, first, I want to prove that here at Beaumont House we provide what the customer wants, and second...
Yes?
I rather like dressing up.
Oh, my God.
No, I didn't mean that. No, I meant sort of, theatre, charades, that sort of thing. You see, Gloria, when I was a child, my father was against any form of recreation that didn't involve killing animals. And can you imagine Nanny Princeton being keen on the idea? No, exactly.
So you've never dressed up just for the fun of it? You don't seem to have had much fun in your life just for the fun of it, do you, Gerald?
No, Gloria, well, you see, the way I was brought up, the priorities in my life were always responsibility, obligation, discipline, and, well, having fun was pretty low down on the list.
Well, growing up without fun, that's just so alien to the way I was brought up.
I'd like to tell you, Gloria, that since you've been here over the last few weeks, I've laughed more than I have in my entire life.
Well, shall I take that as a compliment?
I hope so. It's a very big compliment.
Oh, thank you very much.
I mean, you are just so mad.
Oh, thank you very much.
No. I mean, you're so American.
It seems to mean the same thing for most people around here.
Look, what I'm trying to say to you is... Oh, no, they're here.
God, I'm leaving.
No, look, go behind there. No, go behind. Stay behind me, Gloria.
Ah, do come in. You must be the Hoopers. Frightfully nice to see you. Gerald Hope Beaumont, Viscount Dibley.
Haven't I seen you someplace before?
No, I don't think so, no.
In the garden. Now, that was it, Lorette, wasn't it? He looks just like the gardener.
That's right, Bob.
You related to the gardener?
Well, see, the same family of gardeners has been here for generations, and a rumor has it that the 8th Viscount used to put it a bite a bit.
No kidding.
Do come, sit down, have some coffee.
Oh, thanks.
You know, that's not the image that we have of English aristocrats.
What isn't this suit?
No, the 8th Viscount having illegitimate children.
Ah.
Now, we tend to think of the English aristocrats being totally sexless.
I see. So that is what you'd expect from an authentic English aristocrat, is it?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you may have a point. You see, fact is, one isn't brought up to have sex very high on one's list of priorities when one's at English public school, you know.
Who's this one?
Oh, sorry, me, I'm one.
Yeah, I have heard of your English public school.
No, I didn't mean that.
Now, what the hell was that?
That is plumbing. Yes, plumbing, because it's very, very idiosyncratic plumbing in an old house like this, you see.
You don't have to tell me. I could not get the bidet to work in the bathroom.
You can get the bidet to work. No, actually, if you mean what I think you mean, it's not a bidet, actually. It's a... Oh, gosh, plumbing.
Now, getting back to sex.
Sex?
Sex.
Oh, all right, then, yes, we must.
You'd say, then, that sex does not play a very big part in your life.
Oh, no, absolutely not, no.
You got no skeletons hidden around the place here.
No skeletons at all, no, just plumbing, yes.
You got no dark secrets.
No dark secrets at all, no.
Yeah. You got no dark secrets, huh?
That's all sort of stuff. I can't believe it. Oh, terribly pleased to see you.
Surely, Bob, you must admit that this is authentically English.
Well, it's like nothing I was expecting.
But, Bob...
Look, I was over here during the war, Lorette. I know what the English you really like.
Sure, Bob, but...
Hey, I wonder what's through here.
Now, Bob, honey, it does say private.
Yeah, well, it sure does. Now, that is truly English.
Now, Bob, I really don't think we should go moseying around like
Come
that.
on, where's your spirit of adventure, eh?
Properly brought up people knock before coming into a room.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're Americans.
Oh, say no more. That explains it.
Now, wait a minute.
Don't butt in. You're not a goat, are you?
Oh, but listen.
You listen to me. When your lot went off in the Mayflower, it was good riddance as far as we were concerned. Still, we continued helping you out, and what thanks did we get in return? The American War of Independence. Do you know how we used to describe the Americans during the war? Overpaid.
Oversexed and over here.
Touchdown. At least the tour operator's going to pay us for all our trouble.
Trouble being the operative word. Mr. Hooper is the most appalling man I've ever encountered.
Never mind. All good training in being nice and smiling. Means it won't hurt so much next time.
So you're saying there'll be more visits like this one?
Absolutely.
Oh, good. Just so as I've got plenty of warning.
Warning? What for?
Well, to learn another tune.
Oh, I've put their bags in the coach and they're about to leave.
Right, fine. Let's make a move. We've got to do the farewell lineup in the lower hall.
Hey, in upstairs, downstairs, wasn't this the time when all the staff used to get tipped?
Hoopers, I assume you're joking.
I think I better get out of sight again.
No, come on, stay. There's no illusion to maintain anymore.
That's true.
Do you think they will tip us, Gloria?
Wouldn't bet my pension on it if I were you, Crompton.
No, I think the Hoopers have just spent the most miserable 24 hours of their entire lives.
Yeah.
And I tell you, you wouldn't believe this, but... Well, everybody's here. Now, this is marvelous. Thank you. I'd just like to thank you very much for all your troubles when we were here. Thank you. I mean, we couldn't have done without you. It's absolutely marvelous. And, sweetheart, here... Oh, you sure are a pretty terrible guitar player. You know that? I don't know if it's a done thing to offer a tip to the member of the aristocracy.
That kind of protocol's changing all the time. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I just want to thank you all because Lorette and I had such a good time here.
Have those wretched Americans gone yet?
And that lady, boy, she is something else.
Oh, no, they're still here, flashing their money about as usual, I see. I suppose it's too much to hope that you Americans would ever realize how vulgar money is. Well, if you imagine my goodwill can be bought in that crass and vulgar way, you've underestimated what it means to be an Englishwoman. I will not take your money.
I will. I'm American.
Well, I just want to tell you that this lady here has given me a real nostalgia trip. I mean, the rest of you did as best you could, but she's the one who's given me the authentic taste of England.
You've got to be kidding.
Oh, she brought it all back, just like the old time. I mean, I was here with the American forces during the war, And all the English I met, I mean all the English I met,
yes,
they just hated me.
You're in the land of hope and gloria, a land of do or die. You're in the land of hope and gloria, where aspirations run high.
We go back to William the Conqueror.
We go forward into space.
We've got lords, ladies, kings and queens.
Pomp circumstance, pipe dreams.
Background culture, pure tradition.
We rely on capitalism.
You destroyed our language without restraint.
You're only upset because we is what you ain't. Land of hope and gloria. There's hope, there's you and I.
Right, here we are, Nanny.
Of course, Master Gerald. If there's any post for me, it'll just have to wait till I come back.
Yes, of course.
And I suppose, after all, it would be possible to contact me in a real emergency.
Yes, of course it would. Now, for heaven's sake, you are not vanishing for 6 years to find the source of the Nile. You're going for a week's stay at a hotel in Worthing.
There's no need to be pert, Master Gerald. The boy who answered thoughtlessly had his tongue cut out and served for tea.
Yes, Nanny. Now, look, don't worry. Everything will be fine at Beaumont House while you're away. Just go and have fun.
Fun?
Well, all right, then have an enjoyable week's break.
Certainly try to. Oh, it should be all right. The Raleigh Manor's a very nice class of hotel.
Yes, of course.
Nicely proportioned rooms, no riff-raff amongst the clientele, and the owners, Mr. and Mrs. Maudsley, encourage a concept of service that takes one back to those more gracious days when we had an empire.
Yes. I bet they still call you Memsab.
Sorry?
Nothing.
No, nothing's too much trouble for the Maudsleys. They're quite delightful. They bring one early morning tea that would stand up without the cup.
Ah, well, that would save on washing up, wouldn't it?
Made from leaves, too. None of those disgusting tea bags. I mean, if God had intended us to have tea made with those things, he'd have put bags rather than leaves on the tea plants, wouldn't he?
Yeah, well, on that principle, you could say that if he'd intended us to have milk and sugar in it, he would have crossed the tea plants with the sugar canes and given them udders.
What? I don't think udder is a very nice word to use in mixed company, Master Gerald. Ah, Crampton, you come to collect me?
That's right, Nanny Princeton. You set.
Crampton, for heaven's sake, I'm not a blancmange.
Ah, Gloria. Good morning.
Oh, hi, Evelyn. How you doing?
Well, I just thought I'd like to fill you in on the arrangements I've made for my guide roster while I'm away.
Oh, right.
Well, now, on Tuesday afternoons, it's Mrs. Brown, Miss Carstairs, Mrs. Wilson, Mr. Trimble, Mrs. Whetstone, and Mrs. Toop Kimberley, who's free because her chihuahua goes to obedience classes. And then on Wednesday, it's Miss Pilkington, Mrs. Rutledge, Mrs. Wilson, Mr. Trimble again with Mr. Townsend, and Miss Radford. On Thursday...
Whoa! Hold your horses. I just got to Mr. Trimble's second time around.
Oh, right,
Of course I'm writing it down.
Oh, I was just running through the list. I have got a copy typed out for you.
Thank you so much, Evelyn.
Oh, it's nearly time to be off. Oh, do you know, I sometimes think I should get a new suitcase.
Well, that one is pretty beat up, isn't it?
Yes, but of course in this country, old luggage does carry a certain social cachet.
Whatever you say, Evelyn.
Something an American probably wouldn't understand.
Perhaps not. Anyway, I hope you have a good break.
Oh, yes, thank you. It should be very pleasant. The Rory Manor is a delightful hotel, and its standards of service are, how shall I put it, quintessentially English.
Oh, well, can't have everything, can you?
And so are its clientele. The owners, Mr. and Mrs. Maudsley, don't encourage bookings from foreigners.
Should suit you and Nanny Princeton to a T then, shouldn't it?
No, it's not that the Maudsleys are prejudiced or anything.
Perish the thought.
No, it's just with English people, you know where you are.
You certainly do. You know, I still find it strange the way you English feel yourselves so superior to every other nationality.
I don't think it's that strange.
Particularly when almost all the evidence seems to point the other way.
Well, of course, you wouldn't understand how we feel because you're a foreigner.
I don't think of myself as a foreigner.
No, maybe not, but the fact that you don't think of yourself as a foreigner just goes to show how foreign you really are.
Nanny Princeton's in the car, Evening. I've come to collect your things.
It's just the one old bag.
Well, you said it.
Miss Gloria Hepburn seemed very down and out of sorts this morning.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Getting to the end of her initial 6-month contract, too. The trustees want her to stay, but I'll be very surprised if she does.
Oh, really?
Apart from anything else, I think she's getting a bit homesick.
One could understand being homesick if one were English, but isn't it incredible to think of anyone being homesick for the United States of America?
Incredible.
Do you think it's safe for us to be going away? You don't think she's about to start another of her harebrained schemes, do you?
No, no. I think she's far too subdued to be doing anything like that at the moment.
Sorry I'm late. Don't worry about that, Vanessa. With those two gone, now I can really start cooking.
Oh, what are you going to cook?
No, Vanessa, that's an American expression for getting things moving.
Sorry, didn't understand.
No, very few people do over here. Ah, good morning. This is Gloria Hepburn. May I please speak to Carrie Dixon?
So let me get this straight, Carrie. You want to commit a murder here at Beaumont House?
Probably more than one, actually.
Gerald, it's big business in the States. Murder weekends. People pay mega bucks to play at Hercule Poirot for a couple of days. Carrie's done a lot of this stuff in the States, and she is the best there is at what she does.
That's right. And Gloria is the best there is at what she does.
She said it, I didn't.
You know, you two make such a refreshing change from the English girls I've met before.
What, all two of them?
Watch it.
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
Well, you're not, how can I put it, slowed down by false modesty.
Who needs modesty? Listen, there are enough people out there in the real world ready to cut you down to size without you having to do the job on yourself.
No, it's a very healthy approach.
Anyway, Carrie's here in England for a while, so I thought I'd have her come and take a look around, see what kind of scenario she could come up with.
Mm-hmm. Terrific idea.
And then we can add murder weekends to our attractions here at Beaumont House.
Yes, and of course it's a pure coincidence that you've set up this meeting for a time when Nanny Princeton and Evelyn are away.
Gerald, you know me better than that. Mm-hmm. I just like the idea of doing something, anything, without having a permanent chorus of disapproval.
Yeah, well, I know what you mean. Well, look, this all sounds fun. So, Carrie, when you have these weekends, who are your suspects?
Oh, we hire in actors for that.
Oh.
Gerald, you sound really disappointed.
No, not at all, no. So you wouldn't sort of actually need some help from somebody who's sort of actually here, then?
Oh, we're always glad of people to be bodies. Have you got anyone here who'd make a good body?
What does it involve?
Just lying around doing nothing.
Got the perfect person for you. Crompton!
Gloria, that is some guy.
Who?
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 Gerald Hope Beaumont, Viscount Dudley. What a hunk.
Well, I suppose he's all right.
All right. He's gorgeous. And you say he's unmarried?
Widower. Wiped out a few years back.
Well, I think I might try and interest him in a little all-American girl.
Ah.
Oh, well, that is, if I wouldn't be cutting across your territory, Gloria.
What, mine? Oh, hell no. No. Gerald and I just work together. You go for it.
Okay. So you're the... What did you call them? Visitors? Plunderers?
They call them grockles over here, Carrie.
Grockles?
Grockles.
That's right.
If you say so. Right. Well, you're the grockles. Coming in for your dinner. You approach the table.
and you suddenly see this.
Oh, that's great.
That is very good. You all right, Crompton?
Well, I think so. But you know, Doctor, I keep getting these stabbing pains.
You Proctors come along here, and when they get to the closet door, the door swings open.
Hey, Vanessa, are you all right?
Bit embarrassed, actually.
Why?
Well, it's the first time I've gone topless.
Well, there are just so many things you can do with a place like this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am doing great with these weekends in the States, but I've never had the benefit of a setting like Beaumont House.
Yeah, I think we could be onto a real money spinner here.
Just give me a few days to work out a scenario, then we'll run the whole thing through.
Right.
Where we put the clues, the props, the lighting, that kind of stuff.
Great.
Oh, yeah, and we should do it after dark, so we get the effect of everything.
Okay, you're right.
Well, next week sometime?
No, sooner. I'd rather do it before certain people get back.
All right. Oh, before I forget, I got a whole heap of messages for you from Philadelphia.
Oh, lovely. Oh, gimme. Ooh.
Lots of guys miss you back there.
I miss a lot of guys back there, Carrie.
And I've got a special message from Sam.
Oh?
After everything that's happened, he wants you back, Gloria.
I know. He wrote me all about it.
He wants you to go straight back after your 6-month contract. He says he loves you and it'll work this time.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you always wanted him to say after he walked out. That's the one thing you wanted.
I know, Carrie. I haven't forgotten.
Well, you still want that now, don't you?
I don't know. I guess so.
This place really has gone downhill since the Maudsleys left.
It certainly has.
I mean, I don't know what that concoction we were given as a sweet at luncheon was meant to be.
I think it was cabinet pudding.
That would at least explain the taste of furniture polish. I don't know how one's meant to find out what one's eating. Where that waiter comes from, I don't know. He suddenly doesn't speak English.
Filipino.
I wouldn't know, Evelyn. It's not my habit to get on Christian name terms with servants.
No, Nanny Princeton, I didn't mean that. Oh, never mind.
Divide this room into two. It's quite appalling.
I'll make us a cup of tea.
In the old days here, tea was delivered to one's room with proper china cups. And one had sugar lumps and tongs. And the tea was made from tea. I blame the Americans.
What for?
Everything. This whole concept of convenience food, convenience everything, cutting corners all the time. That's not the British way. Our food was never like that.
Oh, you mean our food was always inconvenient?
Yes, and none the worse for that.
Oh, love's young dream are back next door.
What they get up to doesn't seem to me to be much about love. Oh. Not that wretched music. Oh, they're back on the bed again. They're foreign, you know. English people don't go to bed in the afternoon. They go to bed at bedtime, up the wooden stairs to Bedfordshire. Going to bed in the afternoon is a mucky Mediterranean habit. This tea is too weak to drown a gnat. Oh, this is quite intolerable. We'll have to go out for the afternoon.
Oh, but Nanny Princeton, it's raining.
And we'll go to the cinema. But we'll go and see that film that was advertised in the newspaper. The one about the ethics of mercy killing. Now, what was it called?
Death Wish.
That's the one.
come on, you're not serious.
Sure. You dress up like the first Viscount, be great. I tell you, ghost weekends here could go even better than murder weekends.
Yes, if everyone got in the spirit.
And you look terrific in the gear.
Oh, come on.
Oh, a lot of American women would get really turned on by you in that Cavalier kit.
You're going to have to try harder than that, Carrie. Remember, this guy's English. You got to be more direct.
Gerald, you know I'm sleeping in the pink room while I'm here.
Yes, well, that is more direct.
It's a nice room, isn't it? See, the fact is, the reason it's called the pink room is because the wallpaper's pink.
No kidding.
No, really, that's the reason.
Not direct enough, Carrie. Try the why don't you come up and see me sometime routine. That one always worked before.
Gerald, what I was thinking was, maybe after we do the run-through, you'd like to come up to the pink room?
Why?
That's my boy. Now, come on, Carrie. Don't give up. This is elementary stuff for you.
Well, you know, to see that I'm warmly tucked up in bed.
Bingo. That's the one. That one never failed in Philly.
Oh, I see. So you find it difficult to get tucked up in bed, do you?
Mind you, of course, this is England.
Well, let's just say there are some pretty good ways of keeping warm in bed.
Oh, yes, I'm sure there are. Oh. I think I understand what you're saying.
Oh, well, I'm so glad to hear that, finally. So, what am I saying?
Oh, no, I understand. Yes, you want an electric blanket, don't you, Carrie? All right, I'll get Tom to talk about it.
Okay, so what we're trying to do this evening is a straight run-through for lighting and stuff. Got that?
Right.
So can I ask you bodies to be patient?
Be as still as death.
Yes, it is a bit uncomfortable if I stay in position all the time. Am I allowed to move?
Oh, sure, so long as you're in position if you hear someone along the passage. No panic.
No, don't lose your head.
Oh, there's no danger of that. See, really, it's still joined to my... Right.
Look, I'll be going through the sequence of events exactly as the Grockles would see it. Okay?
Fine.
Better get to your places then.
Rightio. The condemned man ate a hearty breakfast.
And Gloria, Gerald, you sure you don't mind helping out tonight?
No problem.
No, glad to be of assistance.
I mean, obviously, when we do it for real, we'll have actors. But for tonight, Gloria, you be the murderer?
You got it.
And Gerald, you be the body?
Oh, yes. Because I knew from the start, Carrie, you only wanted me for my body.
Have fun, Crompton.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be dead good. Hey, matter of interest, have you ever wanted to murder anyone, Vanessa?
Well, there was a teacher at my junior school who I really hated. Oh, I feel awful just remembering it. I used to pray she'd die.
What happened?
She did die.
No.
Last year. She was 92. It's really spooky to know you've got psychic powers.
Yes, it must be.
Well, what about you, Crompton?
What?
Well, have you ever wanted to murder anyone?
No. Well, only Mrs. Crompton. But that's sort of just in the natural give and take of marriage, like.
Oh, right. See you later, then. Oh, and don't forget your blood capsule.
We had to leave early, no question. The Raleigh Manor Hotel's no longer a suitable place for people of our class.
No.
And as for that Death Wish film this afternoon...
I think we may have misunderstood from the title what it was about.
Just an orgy of gratuitous violence.
You know, Carrie's amazingly good at getting everyone organized.
Oh, here, let me do that. Yeah. Carrie's the kind of girl who always gets what she wants.
Yeah, well, she's pretty single-minded about it.
Well, some men find that very attractive.
Do they? Some men don't. I like to make my own mind up. If there's one thing I cannot stand, it's other people trying to tell me how to think. Gloria?
Yes?
Can you imagine what Nanny Princeton would say if she saw me with this stuff on my face?
The little boy whose face turned green ended up in the mincing machine?
Yeah, something like that. Gloria.
What?
You know, at the last trustees' meeting, they were unanimous in wanting to extend your contract.
Yes, I heard that. It's kind of flattering.
Yeah, but I gather there might be some doubt in your mind as to whether to accept the offer.
Well, there are certain people here at Beaumont House who'd be tickled pink if I hightailed it back to Philadelphia.
Gloria, when are you going to stop worrying about what Nanny Princeton and Evelyn think? They just hate the idea of any kind of change. They're very, what's the word?
British.
All right, if you like, yes. But look, I gather there might be other reasons preventing you staying on here. Personal reasons back in the States.
Well, there are. I mean, there are things back in the States that I have to take into consideration, yeah. But it's more the, I don't know, the sheer frustration of trying to make anything happen in this country. I mean, the British seem to have the same attitude to success as they have to, well, I don't know, bad breath. Given that, can you think of one reason why I should stay on over here?
Yes, I can.
What?
Because I want you to stay.
What?
I do. And I will be very disappointed if you don't. Well, go on, say something. Are you going to stay or not?
Well, Gerald,
Oh, come on, Gloria. You really do want to stay.
Gerald, don't do that.
Don't do what?
Listen, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's other people telling me what I think.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
No, it's all right, it's all right. I was just going to get some more stuff anyway.
What's the problem? Something I said?
No, Carrie, something I said. I sometimes wish I didn't have a mouth exactly the same size as my foot.
Gloria, I had a go at getting Gerald interested in me.
Oh, really? Any progress?
No. I think my approach may have been a bit too subtle.
Yes, I should think probably so, Carrie.
I'm just going to collect something from the office. Then I'll be off home.
Well, I'm going straight upstairs to my room.
I'd just like to say, Nanny Princeton, that it has been a great pleasure to go on holiday with you.
Don't be fatuous, Evelyn. The whole experience has been an unmitigated disaster.
You're not doing yourself any good still thinking about Sam. You should write him a letter and tell him to get lost. He's the one who ought to suffer.
Yes, you're right.
Well, as far as you're concerned, Gloria, that guy should be dead, finished, blown away out of existence.
Right.
Are you going to do the dirty deed, or am I?
I'll do it. If anyone should put him out of his misery, I should be the one to do it. I'll blow him away, like he never existed.
It's a massacre! Nanny Princeton! Oh, Nanny Princeton.
Evelyn, it is customary to not.
No time. Oh, Nanny Princeton, it's just like the film. She's killing everybody.
What on earth are you gibbering about, woman?
Come and see for yourself.
She's poisoned Master Gerald. Quick, we must call the police.
Oh, come on, Carrie, move it. How long are we meant to stay like this?
More to the point, Gloria, how long are you going to keep doing the job?
Oh, that.
But just think what you're being offered. Another 6 months of bashing your head against a brick wall. Another 6 months of Nanny Princeton and Evelyn trying to drag you back into the 19th century.
Gerald, be careful you don't try to oversell it, okay?
And another 6 months of living in one of the most beautiful houses in the world.
Yeah.
And another 6 months of working with me to make Beaumont House a success.
Yeah.
Well, so are you going to agree to renew your contract or not?
Oh, deep down inside, I've always been a masochist. Oh, what the hell? Yes.
Gloria Hepburn, that's the best news I've heard in years.
I think it's pretty good news, too, Gerald. Gerald, do you know what that was?
No, what?
The kiss of death. You're meant to be dead. Lie down like a nice book. I will renew my contract, Gerald, on one condition.
What's that?
That, you don't go into the pink room tonight.
Oh, I don't know. Agreed. And also, don't worry about Nanny Princeton and Evelyn. They really are coming round to your little way.
Oh, sure.
You must mobilize every policeman in the county and get them up here as soon as possible. An American woman has gone berserk at Beaumont House.
You're in the land of hope and gloria, a land of do or die. You're in the land of hope and gloria, where aspirations run high.
We go back to William the Conqueror.
We go forward
into space.
We've got lords, ladies, kings and queens.
Pomp and circumstance, pipe dreams.
Background culture, pure tradition.
We rely on capitalism.
You destroyed our language without restraint.
You're only upset because we is what you ain't.